Hey everyone! So as many of you know, I've been on YouTube for over 10 years now. It goes so fast, but I've decided that now is the time to bring my channel to the next level. And the reason why I've decided to do this is because I'm all about empowerment. You guys know that I want to help others feel beautiful and confident. So I'm adding this new show to my channel to get to meet some amazing people, hear their life stories, do head-to-toe transformations, and all the while getting to share educational tips and tricks. So we as a community, whether you're an existing Makeup Geek fan and have been for many years, or you're new to my channel, we can all be inspired by these stories and get to make some changes together. This episode is sponsored by my personal favorite brand, Makeup Geek, a fair trade and cruelty-free cosmetics brand that provides high-quality makeup for a fair price. Don't forget to check out these amazing products at makeupgeek.com. Today we're visiting Gagan. She's an energetic fashionista whose friends describe her as tenacious yet real. She was born in Punjab, India, but now she lives in Washington State and has spent the last several years living her life in desperate need of a change. Not even a year ago, she took a leap of faith and moved to Skykomish, working at a local ski resort and finding her new path in life. Her goal is to own a restaurant someday because she loves giving to others. She says she's healing from an unhealthy relationship and wants to celebrate the change with a new look. Today, I'm so excited to get to meet Gagan because she's such a bubbly person and I just love her story. I love how she's gotten out of a toxic relationship. I connected with that on such a personal level. And I'm so excited to get to play with her hair and her makeup and her fashion. So it's so epic. I cannot wait for you guys to see it.
Hi!
Hey, Gagan!
How are you? Thank you for coming.
Yes, nice to meet you, finally. It's cold out here. I know we just met today, so I guess I want to hear a little bit about your story, like where you live, where you came from, and all that, just so we could get to know you a little bit more.
Currently, I'm just living the mountain life, relaxing.
It's so pretty here.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this horrible woodpecker that wakes me up at 8 a.m. But aside from that, it beats all the ambulances and you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm in a serene cabin life, and it's just so beautiful.
I feel like I was always taking vacations to places like these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I was just like, oh cool, I'll just live in a place like this. Why not?
So you're a ski instructor?
No, gosh, no.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, okay.
I supervise the 2 bars. I love restaurant life. It's chaotic.
Okay.
It's intense. I'm consistently babysitting and then trying to make people happy, which is, I don't know, I think maybe it's just part of my character.
Oh, is it?
So
Okay.
I fit in very well up there.
Yeah.
And it's really great because it's I've never worked in a place where if I get all my work done, I just go hit the mountain.
Oh, that's nice.
You know what I mean? I hate the gym. I don't like to exercise that way.
Girl, I feel you. Obviously, I'm not a workout person, but you know. What made you decide to move from close to Seattle to more rural area?
Well, I was living in downtown area for quite a while.
Uh-huh.
I became very exhausted from it, and I didn't realize I was exhausted. That's the worst part. Is I didn't realize I was unhappy until I came out here and I got happy.
Oh, okay.
And that's just the weirdest thing is you'll just consistently do something because you're used to this pattern or whatever.
Yeah.
And then until something breaks that pattern, you do something different. You're like, oh, cool. Life can actually be better, and I thought I was happy out there, but I really wasn't.
I had a time in my life where I was super, super negative. I had a lot of stuff. I was in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I had, where I was living, I was really unhappy. I was in LA and it didn't fit for me personally. Yeah, totally. And so at that time I had so many negative things. It was like a spiral. It just kept getting worse. And then finally when I broke that cycle and decided to move, that's why I moved to Seattle. I was I need some scenery and some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And things just changed. I had a more positive outlook, and when I changed it, better things started happening.
Here's the issue with toxic relationships. It's obviously there's always 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't completely place blame on one person and whatnot. Yeah. It's these 2 people who are not compatible at all. Mm-hmm. But for some reason you're in love, and you just don't want to leave,
Yeah.
And it's still I hate the term misery loves company, but sometimes in that state, it is kind of like that. And it's just, you know, when you're just like consistently trying to make something work and it's not, you know, just like how we were talking earlier, you know, if negative things keep happening, you need to change something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Ugh, sorry,
Yeah.
getting emotional.
Okay. Because I think every couple bickers to some point or has issues. There's like never a perfect relationship. I think for me, it was always in my mind of deciding, okay, this isn't just bickering or like, you know, some sort of toxicity. Like this is actually really going down a bad place. I think for me, anytime I talk to someone who's been out of toxic relationship, it's like, how do you know when that crossing point is? You know, when it's like, okay, I need to get out.
Oh gosh, if you're like screaming at each other in public.
Yeah, I know, that's kind of like, that's not really a good sign.
Or getting screamed at by your partner in public,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Now that I look back, there's obviously definitely some red flags and whatnot, and you choose to ignore them. When I was a kid, I thought like love is blind was a physical term. And it was like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter if you love someone, whether you find them attractive or not, you'll be with them. But like now that I've aged and I have some life experience, I've realized love is blind to people's actions.
When you start changing yourself, did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
It became toxic when you see yourself changing too?
Yeah, my friends start to see it and they're just like, you just, like, you're not yourself. You know what I mean? Like when your loved ones, you know, are coming up to you and they're just like,
Yes.
who are you? There was a time where he was like, I think I went to introduce him to all my friends, and then he was talking about other women. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, and then I think that's probably where all my insecurities started. And then he would throw terms at me like, you're insecure, da da da. I'm like, dude, you're saying these horrible things to me, and you're also saying it to like in front of my friends. Like, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're hurting me a lot.
If the relationship is really toxic, you get so attached to that and you become accustomed to it. It's like it's a comfort zone almost.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would ask, like, why are you staying in this? And people don't understand that, like, there's emotional attachment. Yeah. Like, even if that person treated you not great, you still love that person, you still care about them, so that's why you stay. So.
I'm getting so emotional.
Oh, it's okay. We have tissues probably somewhere. We have tissues.
It's cool. Oh man, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional.
Oh, it's totally okay.
Yeah.
What are some things that you've done to help you heal and move past that? Because I get asked that all the time. Like, how do you heal?
Healing is such a tough process. Like, it's really interesting because you can't do it unless you're in a certain mind frame, you know? So first, like, you gotta be angry. You gotta be sad. You gotta be depressed. You know, you gotta go through that. You gotta feel every single emotion. And I'm someone, like, I like to feel everything that I'm feeling. And I will cry as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for as long. And that's the part you gotta do it.
So get all the emotion out. That's step one. That's phase one.
I drank lots of whiskey. That was another step in my process.
So to everything that you've gone through now, what would you tell your past self looking back on everything?
Don't rush things, and also don't try to change another person.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest thing nowadays. It's like, okay, this is who you are. That is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is who I am, and that's fine too. But like, we don't need to change each other. Just like, you know, pick up a hobby, master something.
Yeah.
But don't try to like master trying to control someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just like wish them well, get on with your life.
Because then it's just forced. It's like you're constantly trying to make it work with someone that isn't a good fit for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even that person is toxic, it's the relationship itself becomes toxic.
Yeah.
Because you just do not mesh at all, and then it becomes a toxic environment.
If it makes you happy, don't question it.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're unhappy, question it. Question it from, you know, A to Z. And analyze why you're unhappy and fix it, because you only have one life.
Life is short, exactly. If you don't change it now, then what? Just stay in this and be miserable? Like, no.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So now that you're in this fresh new place and you've brought yourself here, you've moved, you've changed careers on that, and you're kind of in this transition space, I think we're ready to give you a complete makeover to help you transition to the next stage. So,
Cool.
you ready?
I'd love to change out of my pajamas.
Yeah. So I brought my friend Ray with me today because I'm good with makeup, but hair not as much. So she is going to actually take you and style your hair today.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. All right. I'm not good with hair or makeup, so that works.
I love your natural wave, but I'm really excited to show you how to blow dry your hair smooth.
Okay.
A lot of people with texture, I think, are intimidated by blowing their hair out. It might take too much time. It's gonna kill your shoulders, but I'm gonna just show you a couple easy tips to get that nice smooth look in about half the time.
Cool.
So to save your shoulder from having to work the round brush over and over again, I'm going to be using a boar bristle Denman brush so you can pull a lot of that wave out before having to work through it.
Okay.
So I have a lot of the wave pulled out in this section, and then I'm going to take a round brush and I'm just going to kind of smooth the ends. You always want to work from root to end.
Okay.
For volume, you want to lift up. If you're going for a more sleek look, down. Disclaimer, these are not done till they're dry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. So with every blowout, there's always a section you should start with first. And if you have bangs, you have to do the bangs first. We all have those weird colics and they will start springing up right away. Your bangs will look uneven, even if they're straight. So always wet the bangs down and blow dry them. And just blow dry them down. You don't need to do any round brushing because that's how you get mall bangs. I'll be taking my boar bristle brush, pulling and blow drying from the top since we're doing a more sleek look. All right, what do you think?
Oh, it's wonderful. It smells so good.
Ooh.
So I'm so excited to do your makeup today, Gagan. And you said earlier you want a red lip.
Yes, please.
But what I want to do is just give you nice glowy skin because your skin's flawless.
Okay.
And you have the best brows I've ever seen. So we're definitely gonna focus on the brows today. So what I like to do is I just take a damp sponge. This is the Makeup Geek sponge. And I'm just taking a little bit of that moisturizer. And I just want to hydrate your skin and give it a good base. So when I put the foundation on top, that it sets really nice on the skin. It doesn't sink in. It just gives you a really good base.
Do you think if the sponge is damp, it has more moisture or adds more moisture to my skin?
It does a little bit. And what I
Okay.
love about a damp sponge is it kind of puffs it up. It makes it really soft.
Okay.
So when I go to blend on your skin, it doesn't streak it at all like when I use it for foundation. It just
Okay.
helps it be more flawless.
Okay.
So now for the foundation, I want to use something that's very highly pigmented, but very thin formula. And so that's why I love this one so much. It's the Dermablend Flawless Creator. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking that damp beauty blender that I used earlier, putting a little bit on there, and then I'm just going to blend it into the skin. And because your skin is so flawless, I don't really need a lot of foundation. I think a lot of people feel like they need full, heavy coverage. But for everyday wear, you really don't. I'm just going to spot treat it in any areas that I feel that you want just a little bit more coverage.
Okay.
I'm just pushing it into the skin, doing a patting motion, and then kind of swiping it to blend it.
Okay.
Now I want to set your foundation, but I don't want to go overboard because I don't want your skin to look matte. I want it to have a very dewy look, but I need to set in the spots where we tend to get oil, and that's the T-zone.
Okay.
So what I do is I take the damp beauty blender, pick up a little bit of a loose powder in the sponge, and I kind of squish it in there, and then I scrape off the excess.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit of powder. Look up for me. I'm going to get right here under the eyes.
Okay.
And then right next to the nose, because that's where we tend to get a little bit oily. Dab the nose a little bit, and then just a teeny bit on the chin, and that's it.
Okay.
Now for the cheeks, I want to use just a nice kind of rosy color. So I'm going to use the Makeup Geek blush in Covet. It has just a little bit of a sheen to it. So I'm taking an angled brush like this one. This is the angled stippling brush. And I want just a little bit of color. So if you feel like your blush is too strong, you can always dab it on the back of your hand to pull off some color.
Okay.
And then I can go in and just start adding it. I'm going a little bit right here because I'm not going to bronze. I'm not going to do too much here. Okay. But if I feel like that's still too strong, you can always go in with a bunch and just kind of blot it to blend it out. So we're going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I swear by this one. It's what I'm wearing today, and I love it. It works for all skin tones because it just gives a nice dewy look without it being too glittery. And we're just going to dab it on top of the cheekbones. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me have you look that way. Do you see the shininess on this side versus this side? Just adds a nice kind of glow to the skin.
Ooh, I like.
Is it Gagan approved?
It's really nice.
So now it's time to fill in the brows, and I'm just going to use a brow pencil. Now your brows are already amazing, so we don't need to do too much. I just want to fill in a little bit underneath. So what I like to do is take a brow pencil and just do some kind of strokes in here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the other side of the spoolie and just kind of brush it in, just to kind of soften it. But again, you don't need much at all because you have amazing brows. Now for the eyes, I want to go very simple, so I'm just going to add a dewiness. So what I'm going to do is actually take a brush, kind of a dome-shaped brush like this, and I'm going to mist it with some sort of setting spray, and any kind will work. I'm going to go in with the Makeup Geek Peach Bellini palette, and I want to use this light shimmery peach color right here. It's just flattering for all skin tones. So I'm going to take the brush wet and pick up some of that to where you see the product on there like that.
Okay.
We're just going to dust it all over the lid. It gives you almost a foiled effect to the eyes by using just a traditional shimmer shadow, and all I'm doing is wetting it.
Okay.
Now take that same brush and wipe it off really well. I'm going to go in with the color Nectar, and it's a really pretty peachy color. It's what I'm wearing as well, and all I want to do is just add a bit of dimension in the eyes. So I'm just going to dust this in the crease, in the outer corner of the eye. I just want a little bit of a peachy color. I want it to be soft.
I'm gonna have to hit the local pub tonight. Oh man.
Now I'm going to go in with a really small pencil brush like this. I'm going to go in with the color Venice. It's just a really deep kind of plummy brown. What I want to do, because you have such a beautiful eye shape, I want to accentuate that. So I'm going to take it to the outer corner of the eye, and I want to bring the color up to kind of lift the eyes even more.
Okay.
Now I want to put on some false lashes, and I love using something that's very fun and flirty, so I'm going to use the Graceful lashes. And I want to do this because with such a strong lip, I like having lashes. It balances it. Sometimes if you do a really bold lip and you don't do much with the eyes, it can look a little bit off balance, so that's why I love doing lashes. And if you don't feel comfortable with lashes, just put on really good 2-3 coats of mascara.
Okay. Cool.
So one tip with the lashes I wanted to tell you guys is that if you put the glue on, that liquid glue, let it sit for a good minute before you put the lashes on, because if you put it on right away, the glue will kind of slip around and your lashes will be having a party all over your eyelid instead of where they need to be on the lash line. So that's my tip for today. So now I'm going to go in with mascara. This is a brand new one, you guys. I'm not going to put a used one on her. She gets to keep this. But I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, and all I'm going to do is put a coat on now that the lashes have had time to sit, so that way I could weld, is that a word? Melt, mush, smush the lashes together. Okay, look up for me. And just do like a little swiggle and sweep up. That's it.
Ooh.
Okay. Now the last step for the eyes, I want to smudge a little bit under there because you have such big, beautiful eyes. I think that you can handle this. If you guys have a little bit smaller eyes, then skip this step. But what I'm going to do is take the color Bellini, and it's a nice kind of brownish color, warm brown. I'm going to take that dome-shaped brush, a really small one, and what I'm going to do is just smudge it under. So look up for me. And all I'm going to do is just really kind of smoke this out. And since it's such a soft brown color, you can go pretty far down and it really smoke out those eyes.
Ooh.
You see the difference between this eye and that eye?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now it's time for that bold red lip. This is the star of the show. So I'm using the Makeup Geek lipstick, the iconic lipstick in the color Elegant. I'm going to use a lip brush, but if you're applying it at home, you can put it on directly from the tube. So all I'm going to do Just get that nice red pop.
Oh, that's nice.
Then I'm just going to top it with a little bit of a Plush cream just to kind of add a little bit more depth and dimension. I love layering lip products together. I know a lot of us tend to just put a gloss on or a red lip, but especially when it's a deep or bright color, I love layering two products together just again for that richness and that depth. So take that brush, or if you're at home, you can apply it directly from the tube. So this is the color Beauty Queen. Now the final step, because you want that nice dewiness, this is optional. This is if you want to be extra today, which we want Gagan to be extra because she's going to the pub tonight and I want her to walk in and everyone to be like, yes. You're going to be popping, Gagan. So we're adding more highlighter. Taking the Makeup Geek Cheek Highlighter brush. This is the color Sunlight. It's a nice goldeny color. And I'm just going to pick up some of that on there. And we're just going to highlight you even more. And then I'm going to blend it out with that same sponge.
Cool.
And see how it gives you a really golden look to the cheeks?
That is wonderful.
I'm just going to take a setting spray. And this is your spa treatment for today. And then we just need the pool boy with a fan doing this when you eat some grapes.
Can you feed them to me?
Yes, feeding Gagan grapes. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You did wonderful.
I love this look on you. I love how just dewy your skin looks.
Yeah, I normally don't do eyeshadow at all, so those tips were wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially the double colors on the bottom. Definitely adds more texture. It's really nice.
Yeah, your eyes are popping. Everything I just feel like looks really glam. So she's herself a hot date. All right, so we're ready for the next step?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So Gagan is changing. I wanted to explain to you the process. So we grabbed a few different outfits for her, intermixing pieces that she already owns, so that way it's comfortable, it's easy. So I'm so excited to see how this outfit turns out.
Yes! Nice.
First outfit she has is a button-down Milan skirt. It's my favorite piece from the line. It's very sexy, very versatile. So she has a black one of that, the Vienna camisole in white kind of tucked in, and then she has her own jacket, which she just told me that she designed herself. This one's more casual with the suede jogger pants, and then I'm having her wear a nice V-neck t-shirt that you can wear off the shoulder, you can tie up in a knot.
It's a little sexy for me.
Now for the third outfit, we paired her own leather jacket that she already had with a midi dress. It has the ruching in there and it's a deep plum color, so it looks so good. So do you know which one out of the three outfits is your favorite?
I think I do.
Which one?
I can't stop thinking about that snap skirt.
Yes, the first outfit?
I love that snap skirt.
What?
I could style that in so many different ways.
Yes, right?
It's cool. I can wear it during the winter. I can wear it during the summer.
Yeah.
It can be modest. It can be sexy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay. I have to say, my personal favorite though, I love this outfit. Like when you came out, I was like, what?
All right, honey, since you taught me some stuff today, I'm going to teach you something too. And something that, you have to be able to do out here is chop wood because it gets really cold.
I know, I can tell that. And I'm terrified, by the way. I've never held an axe before, so the fact that, you were so confident with it. You're like, look, honey. All right, you have to show me how this is done. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little terrified.
Okay, basically, you just let the head of the axe do the work for you.
Okay.
So, I like to hold it by the base.
Okay, I'm going to stand over here.
That's probably a really good idea. And I just line it up.
Okay. Oh, dang.
That's how you chop wood. Yeah.
I love how you're doing this in a dress and heels as well. I'm so impressed.
Are you ready?
I guess.
Okay. So
So right hand on the bottom.
Yeah, and then you basically just let it swing.
Let it swing.
Yeah, so I don't put too much force into it, kind of just let the head of it go down and chop the wood.
Let it go down. Okay.
Yeah.
So should I line it up first?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
like to do.
I'm terrified that I'm gonna hit someone.
It's okay.
Okay. And what if my aim's bad? So I just let it drop basically?
Yeah, put a little force into it. You got it.
Okay. it open. Hold on, let's try it. How do I get this out? Gagan definitely inspired me after talking to her by knowing that I wasn't alone in some of the things I've gone through in my journey. And that's why I wanted her to tell her story, because I know there's so many of you out there who feel that same way. And just feeling like it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to make drastic life changes to get in a better spot and just be overall healthier and happier.
Honestly, I kind of feel like a burden's been lifted off of me. Like I just like discussed something that like was consistently bothering me, and I talked about it, and you know, the world didn't crumble.
Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I do have some other videos coming up very soon that will tell my story about some things that I've gone through in toxic relationships and other issues that I really want to share, honestly, just to help all of you out there not to feel alone.
Don't hurt yourself, Marlena.
I know.
Please don't.
Just don't let go of that.
Just don't let go? Okay. I'm afraid about my aim.
You're fine. Oh, you did it! Good job! I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You did it.
I'm not gonna lie, we have a gas fireplace. I'm good with that.
All right, cool. Anyway, you won't need it. This was a really positive experience. The team was wonderful. Marlena is an amazing woman who's also very inspiring, and she does a lot of good in the world, and the fact that I could be a part of that is really cool.
If you all were inspired by Gagan today, leave some great comments for her because my team's gonna go through and take all of those encouraging words and share them with her just as an inspiration for her next stage in life.